We're learning more details about the Skowhegan town manager who was under investigation for child exploitation. This raised questions for the community about why this information was only released after he died by suicide over the weekend. News Center Maine's Brianna Bush spoke with a former prosecutor about how cases like these are handled when a suspect passes away.
That is sudden, it's shocking, and difficult for a community to contend with.
The community shocked by Skowhegan town manager Nicholas Nadeau's death. Later learning that the 32-year-old was under investigation by the Maine State Police for child exploitation and that he died by suicide.
People care a lot about children and the protection of children. And when a public figure is involved with allegations of abuse against children, that is something that is absolutely newsworthy.
State police say they were in the early phases of investigating and found evidence of sexual exploitation offenses. Due to his death, the case is closed and no charges will be filed.
There's no purpose to continuing that investigation because there's never going to be a prosecution. You can't prosecute somebody who's no longer with us.
Freyla Tarpinian is the executive director of the Maine Commission on Public Defense Services and is a former prosecutor who handled child exploitation cases. She says under Maine's Criminal History Record Information Act, law enforcement can release public criminal history, including closed cases, to the public.
There is an exception to release private information that would otherwise be confidential for dispositions, and one of those final dispositions would be if the suspect or defendant passed away.
A spokesperson for the Maine Department of Public Safety says information is shared on a case-by-case basis. They say in this case, the department received inquiries about Nadeau's background and decided to share what they could. Tarpinian says when a criminal suspect dies before charges are filed, the prosecution cannot move forward, meaning the case will not proceed to a trial and the victim will not see the standard criminal justice process play out.
They're never going to have a public vindication of a trial. That being said, they're also going to be spared a trial. And trials are very, even for people who get to see a conviction, they are a grueling process.
Brianna Bush, News Center, Maine.
And if you believe you may have been the victim of sexual exploitation, you're encouraged to report it to your local law enforcement agency or through the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.